Ready, honey? We are on live.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. It is Matt and Dee Dee here to bring you our 2018 rehash of our life in 2018. Some of the things that I went through, mostly because Matthew didn't actually make anything up, so it'll jog his memory as we go. Hopefully he'll remember things from each month that we experienced together. But in the meanwhile, I have a list of things that I'm going to talk to you about that I experienced in 2018. And then when we're done, we're going to talk to you about what our goals are for 2019. Right, honey?
Sure.
He's not feeling good, so we have to be kind of calm and patient with him. The man is having a hard time today. So we're going to just be nice and easy and gentle and just go through everything that I have written down, and we'll go from there. All right. So, beginning of 2018, which would be January, I was covered in itchy, bright pink welts that started on my arms and eventually covered me from the neck on down. I was in and out of the doctors, the specialists, the emergency room. I even spent 3 days in the hospital or something. Used creams and lotions and medicines. Finally, they tried antihistamines with me. What was it? Not Actifed. I don't think that was what it was. Whatever the antihistamines are. Not Claritin. They had me on cetirizine, and yeah, I guess at one point Claritin too. They tried different ones. And then finally put me on a very low dose of prednisone because I dreaded prednisone. I did not want to go on it. And then they increased the dose, which was miserable. But I can tell you that prednisone really does work when you have inflammation in the body. And as miserable as it is to be on it and scary, it was very scary for me. Probably because I did way too much research on it and looked up what the effects were of it. I do that a lot to myself. I just felt really nervous because prednisone, what it does is actually take over your immune system. And then when you get off of it, you have to come off very gradually so your body can then take back over your immune system. And that scared me. Reading that and knowing that scared the heck out of me. So I didn't like being on it, and it felt icky to me. I didn't like it. It was awful. But it did help, and it did make the things go away. Another thing that made it go away, well, we'll talk about that later. It was a sad situation, but we'll be talking about that later on. So at the end of January, because there wasn't really anything important that happened in January that I can remember. Can you remember anything important?
No.
At the end of January, I had swelled up lips like Kylie Kardashian, literally. I was still dealing with the welts and the boo-boos all over my body. And yeah, my lips were swelled up like, yeah, just basically like I did that Kim Kardashian thing with my lips with the suction thing, except they did that on their own, and it was weird. It was a very weird feeling. It literally felt like my lips were inflating. It was sticky. I didn't like it. I got my dancing video clip on Dr. Phil's celebration show. You may or may not know that I used to go behind the scenes. Hi, Julie. Welcome back. I remember you from last night. Hi, Edie. Good to see everybody. I'm glad everybody got my message. So now we're going to fill up the room here, fill up the chat. I got my dancing video clip on Dr. Phil's show. I used to go behind the scenes, and then at one point they did this thing where they asked us all to dance, kind of like this celebration dance for Dr. Phil, and then they would take little clips and put it all together in one big video. Well, I'm actually on the video. I will try to find it for you guys if you want to see it. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was just a really quick clip of me. If you didn't know it was me, you might not know it was me. But I could point myself out. I could see that I was on there. So it was pretty exciting. Oh, I'm on Dr. Phil, you know. Also, my Twitter feed that I would say, you know, my comments about Dr. Phil, that got on his show several times too. All of ours did in one form or another, actually. So that was fun. So I did the behind the scenes thing with Dr. Phil's show in January. In, let's see, January towards the end also, we decided that we were going to leave the church we had been at for I think, was it 9 months about? It was a Hebrew roots church that we felt was kind of borderline cultic a little bit, and we were uncomfortable with it. We still go back and visit the people because we love the people, and you'll hear once in a while that I went to the place. But we didn't feel that that was meant to be our home church because there were things that we just didn't agree with. And then my eldest daughter at the end of January got in a car accident, and thankfully she was okay. It was a hit and run. Can't remember if they ever got a hold of the person. I don't think they did. And that's pretty common around here, unfortunately, hit and run accidents. February. I still had welts on my body. My refrigerator died. My youngest daughter ended up having knee problems and ended up in a leg brace. And my cat, Carmine, we took him to my ex-husband's girlfriend's house. And we were going to bring our cats to play together because their cats used to be my cats. It's a long story. When I was married to him, they were our cats that we got together. When she hooked up with him, we gave him the cats. So I was visiting my former cats, and we are going to bring our new cats to play with them because they used to live together anyways for a while. And as I was opening up the cat carrier, Carmine jumped down to the floor and out of the car and ran down the street in her neighborhood, my ex-husband's girlfriend's neighborhood. And we didn't see him for 5 months. I was devastated. I put out ads. I went on Facebook. I asked people to let me know if they saw him in the neighborhood. And people did. Like all along, they'd say, what does he look like? Is he gray and fluffy? Yes. We saw him over here, but nobody would like try to capture him. And he probably wouldn't come anyways if they tried. So yeah, my husband's here doing something to my back with this back scratcher. I don't know what he's doing. So that was the end of February. March, we decided, this is a sad part, our dog needed to be rehomed due to both of us having allergies and breaking out in welts and itching. Matthew couldn't even like pet her without literally breaking out all over both of his arms and his body, and he would itch really bad. Although his welts weren't anything like mine, his itching was profuse. Hi, Edie. And so that was sad. We decided it was better to give Morgan a new home, even though we really didn't want to. It was unbearable. The itching was absolutely terrible. And she was a big dog, so she was very difficult to bathe, and even bathing did not get rid of whatever was on her. I started doing a lot of keto cooking in March. I had gone over to my daughter's house one night. She said she was going to have me over for dinner, and said, I'm doing keto though. And I said, oh boy, we're going to eat birdseed all night. It's going to be awful. And it really was, and it was awesome. She makes this awesome pseudo cheesecake out of whipped cream and cream cheese and strawberries or something like that. And it was awesome. So I'm like, well, she's on this keto diet, maybe I'll try it. So I believe the next day I started going keto. In April, I bought my mother of the bride dress for my third eldest daughter's wedding in October. I got a letter in the mail, believe it or not. I don't remember exactly when this was. You love keto, Edie? Cool. Well, maybe we could do it together. I'm not going to go super keto this time. I'm just going to really cut back on the carbs. So I got this letter in the mail that said, all it said was this: 8 years later, you saved my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all it said on it. And I was like so blessed by that, to know that I saved somebody's life. I don't know how, I don't know who it was, but that's what I got in my mailbox. So that was pretty much a pretty big, thing for me in April. Okay, so we finally found Morgan the dog, our boxer bulldog, a new home in April. And during that same month, I think I got a call from my neighbor, or not my neighbor, I'm sorry, from my ex-husband's girlfriend, that somebody saw the cat or something. I can't even remember how it went. Somehow we found out that the cat was lurking around, and you do lazy low carb. Oh, cool. Okay, I want to talk to you afterwards, Edie. We need to get together on that one. And I went back to my ex-husband's girlfriend's house or apartment, and sure enough, there's the meowing in the next yard, and I'm looking through the slats in the fence, and sure enough, there is Carmine meowing. And it was cold, and I think there was snow on the ground, wasn't there? It was like icy and stuff. He had lived for 5 months, probably catching rats and moles and whatever to stay alive, but he made it for 5 months in the cold, in the winter. And when I went to go and get him, and my husband went to go and get him, he kind of ran. So pretty soon we realized that he was going to run every time Matthew went near him. And so I just kind of got down on my, like I squatted and I said, here, boy, boy. And he started coming closer and closer. I don't remember, how did we finally get him? I captured him, picked him up, took him inside, and then
we put him in the humane trap.
Put him in a humane trap, as he said, the carrier. And eventually I lured him out, or somebody lured him out, or we let him out, and then we lured him back in later to bring him back home. But we got him back, and I have pictures for that somewhere on my Facebook too. He was a happy camper. It took him a while to realize who we were, though, you know. After being gone for 5 months, he had to get used to it again. But he's my boy, and he knows me now, obviously. In May, I lost my voice. I don't remember how long I lost it for. Probably not very long, maybe a few weeks. That's never fun. I also celebrated my 2nd anniversary to my husband. We got married May 7th, 2000. I always get this wrong.
It'll be 3 years.
14,
16.
2016. May 7th, 2016. And then we renewed our vows the year after that. June, my youngest daughter, Amber, graduated high school. And I attempted a primarily vegetarian diet. Face painted at my granddaughter's other grandmother's breast cancer benefit. I attended the I-80 truck stop jamboree. And I met my husband. We both met my husband's relatives for the very first time. We went out to their church. We hung out with them and got to know them. He hadn't seen them in years, since he was a little kid. So that was a real treat for him, especially. Very nice people. In July, I began marketing my leggings business, Leggings for Less. If you want to know about that, just email me at DelusionDispeller@gmail.com. And August, I moved my daughter Amber into her new home for college. She lives on campus, well, near campus. I bought my first bikini as a reward to myself for getting down to 190, which I am not at anymore, but I will be one day. So I bought my first bikini as an adult, because I had never had a bikini since I was a kid, probably. I never had one as an adult. And I went for a D&C for lady issues during my menopause that was not cooperating. And I lived to tell about it. I was always afraid of getting a D&C, but I survived it just fine. Had a dynamic doctor. It was wonderful. Okay, November, I posted my first email course, which is available, y'all, for $19.98. How to move on when the narcissist is done with you. I tried EMDR on my husband for his PTSD and anxiety, and he said it helped him a lot. Chris Watts' hearing started up in around that time. Was it November? I guess it was. And we'd been talking about it since August, of course. Hi, Sandy. When it first started, and you know, when we found out that he had killed everybody and stuff, gradually. Happy New Year! I had Thanksgiving with my family, and then, as you know, if you watched my other videos, we had what's called Friendsgiving the week after that. So one daughter had it at her house, and the eldest daughter had it at her house the next week. We call it Friendsgiving, because that's for family and friends, and anybody can come. December, we had 3 Christmas celebrations. We had Christmas Eve, and then we had 2 on Christmas at each child's house. So, not that they're children, but you know what I mean. That was also, December was when I streamed the 2020 final court case for Christopher Watts and got banned from YouTube for 90 days. I also, in December, was in the middle of a police chase. They were chasing somebody that had tried to rob a bank in our local area. I was coming home from work. I saw a car speed by me, and I was like, what the heck? You know, slow down, dude. And then all of a sudden, I see police cars coming. And then later on, I read online and saw on the news that there was actual couple hoodlums that were trying to rob the bank, and they had a knife in their car. And I pulled over to the side of the road because everybody was flying by me. I didn't know what it was, but so I was in the middle of a possible potential crime. That was crazy. God is good. He protected me. It was also the month husband wiped out on his way back from work on the bicycle. He flew on his bike, like he said, 10 feet, and ended up with a mild concussion.
I slammed to the ground and then slid like 10 feet. I didn't fly.
Oh, he slammed to the ground and slid 10 feet and ended up with a mild concussion and has post-concussion syndrome now that he's still trying to heal from. Which brings us to today. So that is what happened in 2018 for us. How about you all?
For us? Do I not get a chance to share anything?
I didn't know you had anything prepared.
Oh, maybe. You should get your head out of your butt and ask.
Go ahead. I will be quiet. I'm going to eat my salad while he talks a little bit. You have the limelight here a little bit, honey. I always take it over.
Uh-huh.
There you go. I'll be here eating my New Year's salad.
My stepdad died this year. I don't remember what month that was. I've overcame a lot of issues and stuff and worked on a lot of things and gotten better. I mean, I'm on here, so that says a little bit. I've learned that it's better to agree with your wife instead of telling her the truth. I've learned that even if you are always right, people don't want to hear it. That's pretty much all I learned.
And that's what you were all up in arms of me not letting you tell, huh? I see how it is. Anything we can bicker about is fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so what's up with all of y'all? How are you spending Christmas? Sure. How you spending New Year's Eve? Hi, Ada.
You silly.
Well, I mean like the ball dropping time, you know, the eve, like when we go Happy New Year at night.
How many of you are going to be awake for midnight?
Yeah. How many are going to watch the ball drop?
Me.
I'll be watching the ball drop myself.
Yeah, behind your eyelids.
No, I'm not going to go to sleep at night. I want to really watch it this night.
She will.
I don't want to because I keep missing it every year.
She'll take a nap before and not wake up for it.
I know better than to lay down and take a nap because I won't wake up for it. I want to see if some of my favorite video people are online.
I tried.
There's some new ones coming up. Have you guys seen Princess something? I can't remember what her name is. There's all kinds of new people springing up. And they're not talking about Watts. They're just being silly. Ow, I feel like something's biting me. Probably the fleas that I just treated off of Teddy. Where is he? Oh, the flea stuff came for the cat, by the way, y'all. I already put it on him. It takes 2 hours to start taking effect. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Okay. You never fall asleep till 3 or 4 in the morning anyway? Wow. Okay, Ada.
I used to be that way. Not anymore. Not since I work at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't work too well. Not going to bed until 2, 3, or 4 when you work at 6.
No, I would imagine not. Edie, so make sure you email me, okay? DelusionDispeller@gmail.com. And let's get together, maybe do a Zoom thing and talk about this lazy low-carb thing that you're talking about. My low-carb snack right now. Big salad. It's not totally full. Only about a quarter of the way full. It is delicious.
It's only not full because she already ate half of it.
I didn't eat that much.
Don't let her lie to you.
Ooh. Looks like that tomato might be rotten. I can't tell. Maybe not. I don't know. It looks awful dark on the top. So what shall we talk about, everybody? You got us here. Everybody seemed to enjoy us being together on a video.
You went from 5 to 300 because people love watching you eat.
I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about.
Laura's new goal for the new year is time management, and also, what's that word?
Attentiveness.
Yeah, attentiveness, and not always putting the internet first.
Who said that one?
Those are the goals I'm making for her.
I don't always put the internet first. I'm usually at work during the day. I'm not even on the internet.
Good example. She starts to make me a salad, and then stops making me my salad in the middle of it, so she can do something on the internet.
That's because I know if I don't do it, I wouldn't have time to do it because it was like a half hour before we were supposed to be on air.
But it was more important for my salad so I could eat.
Julie's laughing at you.
Or is she laughing at you? There's really no telling who she's laughing at.
I think she's laughing at you towards me.
That works.
As long as she's laughing at me, you're good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Haha, Matthew, you're funny.
I am.
The banter. They like how we banter back and forth. Be careful you don't fall in that, or you're going to look like a vampire with fangs coming out your nose.
Well, we're close to a hospital anyway, so...
It doesn't matter.
They haven't been trying to get me disability, so it works.
Not that way. I don't think you want to go in with a back scratcher up your nose. Yeah, we do banter back and forth. That's why we were together so long, I think.
Should have heard us earlier.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Except there was swearing involved, so maybe not.
On his end.
No,
not mine.
hers.
Did I cuss?
Do not. Okay, do not fall for her little trap. She
I
is not as nice and innocent as you think
Yes,
she
I
is.
am. Don't tell them that. Yes, I am. I'm as innocent and pure as the white-driven snow. Do you ever make me dinner? Yes.
You do. There was I don't know, I must have been sick or something. There was like 3 or 4 nights in a row where I made dinner. But usually, no. I don't like cooking. But I have been getting better at doing more stuff on my own instead of asking her to do everything. Even if I work hard and she just sits on her butt at home. Lately, you have.
Lately, I'm on vacation. Of course, I'm sitting on my butt.
I'm just saying. Even then, I'm trying to do more on my own, so you don't have to hurt yourself by getting up and doing something for your husband.
Yeah, right. Okay. She says that's awesome. He helps me cook sometimes. Like, we'll make stuff together. He helped with the pizza the other day. He put the pepperoni on. Is that all you put on it? Just the pepperoni?
Yeah, you yelled at me.
Why didn't I yell at you?
You did too.
How did I yell at you?
Why are you putting so much pepperoni on
I did not.
And I'm like, well, because it's a pizza. So let's not put all the pepperoni on it. And she's like, well, why not save some for next time? I'm like, no.
Did I say that? I don't remember arguing with you about the pepperoni.
You know, you never remember stuff that you don't want to remember.
Your husband doesn't seem shy at all.
And you only remember the stuff that's convenient for you.
I don't know if he's shy, but he has anxiety.
I have social anxiety. It's not so bad on here. But like I told her, I will never do, or more than likely, I will never do YouTube because YouTube is just evil. There's a lot of mean people and stuff on there. But so far, the Facebook Lives have been really good and really positive, and the people on here are really nice, and it's clean and gentle. But you probably will never catch me on Facebook Live ever.
YouTube.
Whatever. YouTube Live, my bad.
Well, and the thing is, these people that are here now are from YouTube.
Yeah, but they're the nice ones.
Right? And I've been actually making a list of the meanies and the nice ones, and I know which ones to avoid now.
Check out the jackrabbit. Show them.
Check them out. I'm supposed to show you the jackrabbit.
The cat.
Underneath the...
Oh, you just lost them.
Lost them? What do you mean?
It just went black.
It did? Uh-oh. That's because I'm covering the camera like a moron. Do I have it?
Yeah. See this cat right here? This is Teddy. He always sleeps in the weirdest positions in the weirdest spots.
Yeah, he's the one that was on the platter the other day that we showed you.
Yeah, like he was sleeping on this platter thing, like There was not a single part of him off of the platter. Not even a hair. It was crazy.
Oh, you have the same thing, Ada? Yeah. So
Yes,
internet's
it
easier.
really sucks for me because I work fast food and I'm a cashier up front, so I'm always around people. So in the past, how I've ever dealt with my anxiety is by dissociating. And if nobody knows what that's like, it's like being high or drunk or buzzed all the time. So it gets really hard to do stuff or to socialize with people. So I've been trying to get more out of that and more of not caring so much about what people think or whatever and fighting the dissociation. Because the less I fight the dissociation and stuff, the less anxious I get. And the less anxious I get, the more like aware I am, like I am here and like I was last night. And the more I can be myself. Which is what we found out was one of my biggest issues was I was just afraid to be myself and afraid to talk to her or other people because I have PTSD and anxiety, and it was hard to talk to her because for the longest time when I talked to her, she would get an attitude or get bossy, or I mean, she really would, or we're being serious, stuff on it. And she would. So I always like held, well, I did the same thing to her too, in all fairness. And it got to where we couldn't really communicate, and communication's always been our thing, you know, even before all the other stuff and everything. So, I mean, it's gotten a lot better at that, and, like, we had a situation that came up where, you know, it was sort of a monumental moment for me or whatever, where I had to decide either do I get off, I can't even, what's that analogy, where you get off the pot?
Poop or get off the pot.
Where I either poop or get off the pot. And I love pooping. Trying to get off the pot anyway.
And he doesn't mean marijuana either. Not that kind of pot.
Well, if you're pooping, why would it be that pot? You don't smoke the poop.
Whatever, you're gross.
Anyway, I decided that, you know, from now on, I'm going to be myself. You know, I don't care what people think. I don't care how I'm judged or who reacts which way. Then I'm just going to be myself because, you know, whatever happens in life, especially with all my health issues, you know, it's just I don't have my whole life to waste, and I don't want to waste it anymore. And once I started being myself and not caring about all that crap, not caring if I dissociate, not caring if, like, whatever, you know, me and Laura have been getting along a lot better. I mean, you've seen me on here, and I never got on here before. Mm-hmm. And just a lot of other things have changed, and I've just had a better life.
Well, we both have had to make changes. I've had to make changes, too, and not get so touchy over everything. When you're dealing with somebody that has anxiety and is easily triggered, yeah, Edie, you have to realize that they really can't help certain things. And that was my hardest thing, was thinking he was purposely doing stuff, and he really wasn't.
She, for the longest time, okay, and I don't hold this against her or trying to throw it in her face or anything, but for the longest time, excuse me. Oh, burping banana, dude. You ever do that? It's nasty.
Burping banana? No, anyways, I was burping cucumber, though.
For the longest time, like, because she's a fixer and everything, and she loves fixing, and she loves being bossy and controlling and all that. She's, like, tried to control every aspect of her life or whatever, maybe out of fear or whatever the reason was, but I've told her 4 years, like literally like most of our relationship up until just a couple months ago, to just let things happen, you know, just let whatever happens, happens. Don't try to control it. Don't try to make a list. Don't try to plan it or whatever. And with certain parts of our life, since she's done that, it's gotten better. Well, pretty much all aspects of her life have gotten better. And she's learned a lot. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why she didn't say this earlier, but maybe she was talking about the things that happened and not the things she learned. Like we talked about. But anyways, she's learned to be more patient and more understanding towards other people and more empathetic and sympathetic both. Towards me, especially because for her, with you guys, it's easy. But maybe it's because I'm her husband, or maybe because she hasn't had her needs met for 4 years or whatever. it's always been hard for her to let go and let it happen or whatever with us or with me. But ever since that's happened, we've been doing a lot better, and we've both been a lot happier.
Yeah, that's true. I think what he was saying about how I got controlling and needed to fix everything and checklist on everything.
Go and defend it.
No, I'm going to explain it, not defend it. Although I guess it's kind of a defense thing.
What's the difference between explaining something and defending something?
At any rate, as I was saying, my second ex-husband had a learning disability. Therefore, he did not know how to budget. He didn't take his medicine on his own. I had to do all that stuff for him. And I think I got in that mode for 3 years or 2.5 years or whatever it was. And when I met Matthew, I was still trying to micromanage him. And he didn't need to be micromanaged.
Except it takes 3 weeks to make a habit. So why would it take you 4 years to break that old habit?
I don't know. I'm a slow learner.
Excuse
Baloney. It is not. Anyway, you get set in a mode, something that's familiar, and you tend to keep repeating the process. And when you've dated other guys or you've been with other guys, it's very confusing because you constantly compare. And if you're with somebody that's only been with 1 or 2 women and he doesn't have much to compare you to, it's kind of an unfair, not really advantage, but it's an unfair situation where, you know, you're thinking about this guy, oh, he did this way, that guy liked his food that way, and you keep trying to do what you always did, and it's not working with this new guy because he's totally different than any of these other people. Or maybe he has some similarities and not all of them. It gets confusing. I think that's why God meant one person for one person. Yeah, that's true, Edie. I agree. You always hurt the ones you love. Isn't that a song of some kind, too?
Just wait a second. She's shoving food in her face.
Sorry, I'm super hungry. Hi, Tawny. I just noticed you came in. Oh, you're replying to Ada. Okay.
So do I. It really does suck. It almost feels like your heart's beating out of your chest.
I actually have that happen too sometimes with the heartbeat. Mine is more, it affects my breathing, which is terrifying. I'll just be even in a car riding somewhere with somebody and I'll start feeling like super scared, like just this real panicky feeling. And then I have to literally concentrate on breathing. They call it forgetting to breathe. And then I can't catch a full breath in.
It gets super scary at night though when you're trying to sleep and
yes.
you forget to breathe.
Like it used to happen a lot.
You literally end up gasping for air.
Yeah. Thank you, Sue. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is scary. Anxiety is terrifying. I know Mrs. Analyzer has been going through a lot of panic attacks lately. That's why she just needs to do her and not go visiting any other rooms or shows because right now with being treated for cancer and also her anxiety on top of it, she doesn't need that, and she can't handle all that. Oh, those are little smiley faces and thumbs ups for us. Thank you, y'all. We appreciate it. Make sure you send your friends to check out our live shows, too, when we do them. Yeah, at night, it's definitely worse. Everything seems worse at night. Like, if you have the flu, nighttime is the worst because you're trying to sleep and you can't breathe or your nose is all stuffed. I will tell you one thing, though. One thing that I found, and this has got to be like the God's honest truth for me. All my life as a kid, as a child, I could not breathe freely. I had runny noses. I had ear infections. I drank a lot of milk, a lot of milk. As an adult, I learned that dairy is very congestive to me. Rice is very bad for me. Wheat, definitely, anything like that. I can't even really get away with brown rice, and sometimes barley bothers me. Anything that's like a grain other than corn. Corn, for some reason, doesn't do a darn thing to me, but all these other things do. And I will literally wake up, if I like eat a piece of cake before bed, I will wake up and not be able to breathe through one side of my nose. until I get up and start walking around and blow it and then take a antihistamine or something. But I just know to avoid that stuff or really cut back on it. I mean, I don't ever totally avoid it, but I definitely cut it back. What do you have to say, honey?
So, you want to hear something funny? Earlier, Laura was doing her whole computer thing, and I was waiting for our live and got bored. So I stuck her phone on the back of her shirt, like hung it there. Then I got the bright idea to call her phone. So as I called her phone and it was ringing, she was looking from one side of her to the other, trying to find her phone.
Okay, Sue. Talk to you later. Have a happy new year.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was a riot because I'm hearing my phone go off and I'm like, and I'm thinking it's like one of my daughters or something, or maybe Mrs. Analyzer's trying to call me or something. And I'm looking, going, where is it? Where is it? I'm moving the covers. I can't find it anywhere. And it's hanging literally on this thing, this string thing this strap, hanging on the back of me, down my back.
It was actually hanging like this.
Oh, it was hanging differently.
Like this.
Oh, it was right on my shoulder.
No, it was on your back, but hung like that.
On my, okay. Well, I didn't know how he did it. I did not feel him do it. I did not see him do it. So.
And she didn't feel it because she was focused on the net.
Well, I was trying to do that last video. Oh, wow. Ada, that is scary. Sheesh. Now, lately, my latest symptom is I'll be standing grocery shopping and my leg from where my leg joins my pelvic area down to my knee goes numb. And it just stays numb for like a few seconds or minutes or whatever, and then it goes back to normal. But sometimes I'll like pat it and
mine's usually my arms or hands go really numb. Or if I get super anxious, no joke, my like face will go completely like numb, tingly. Like I don't feel anything.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I love her too. She called me yesterday. She sometimes calls me and wakes me up, but doesn't intend on it. She's like, I'll let you go. I'm like, no, you called me. It's hard to get a hold of that lady. She is a busy woman. She's busy with her kid, her son, and her husband, and just trying to take care of herself. So I get it. So when I try to call her, she'll be like, call me anytime. Hi, Happy New Year, Stacy. I'll call her and I can't get through to her, and I'll just keep calling her. I call her like 3 times and I'm like, okay, listen, I'm going to just give up now. 3 times is my allotment, so call me back when you can. And usually it ends up like a couple days later she'll call me. But she is hard to get a hold of for sure. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what else can we talk about now? As we leave the old year behind and bring in the new year. Why are you tickling my nose? You're going to make me sneeze. Stop.
That'll make up for the shower you gave me last night. Mm-hmm. With all your spittle.
Oh, yeah. I accidentally spit on you. I didn't mean to. Anyway, I was watching my Go Lightly video today, my interview with her, collab, whatever. I was laughing my head off. That was funny. It was fun, too. She's a pretty fun lady. At least that side of her personality was pretty fun that night. I enjoyed it. I like her life coachy personality, too. I've never had her life coach me, but I'm sure she really knows what she's talking about and is very comforting to the people that she does work with. I have no doubt of that. I probably lost some people out of the room because I mentioned her. But that's okay. Whatever. I still like her. Man, I like lots of channels. He's comfortable now. He doesn't have fleas crawling all over him, poor thing. Nothing. Anyway, what else shall we talk about? I don't have anything planned other than what I just shared with you, or just to tell you like my New Year's stuff that I'm going to do.
Yeah, people at work were looking at me crazy when they asked, "Well, do you have any plans for New Year's?" And I said, "Yeah, me and my wife are going to go home and make a video." And like, you're not going to go out and drink or party or anything like that? No.
Oh, yeah. Kitties are very good for anxiety because they're very sensitive creatures. That's true, Ada.
For some people.
Well, some of them, they jump on their
Are
head.
good for anxiety. For some people, cats make the anxiety worse because they are evil cats.
They're not evil.
Well, it's our fault, mostly Laura's, but our fault because we haven't trained our cats to at night. So they're up at night running around and stuff. And one loves jumping on my stinking head.
Yeah, I need to watch Jackson Galaxy again and learn how to sleep train my cats. See, now I have no problem sleep training cats or dogs, but humans, yeah, there's a little issue with that. I think that can get a little carried away and violate the child's right to follow their body's instincts, so to speak.
You just went back to bed. Aw. I didn't mean to, guy. There you go. Okay, you can go back to bed. Daddy will stop messing with you.
Anyway, what else is on the agenda for tonight?
Money. It's been 41 minutes.
It has.
40 minutes of that was you talking.
No, it wasn't. You talked too. I am more the talker than you are, though, sometimes.
It's because I don't waste words. Every word that comes out of my mouth is meaningful and means something, and it has an impact.
Aw. Yep, it's like having babies. I imagine it is.
I would love to have a dog again. That's one of my goals this year.
By May, we should have a Shih Tzu. That is my goal as well.
Well, her goal is a little bit more complicated than mine. Mine is just to have a small dog. I don't care so much as it's a Shih Tzu.
Right.
Honestly, I would rather more of it not be a Shih Tzu.
But the little faces.
Because the 2 Shih Tzus I've had to put down myself. I don't have good experiences with Shih Tzus.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, I love them. They're cute and they're cuddly and they're adorable. Even when they're running around like crazy chasing their tails and going psycho, but still.
Will we stay up for the new year? He's not going to, he said. He's going to sleep.
I'm going to try, but I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, because he had to work all day, so I'm going to try to stay up.
What are
our
she
plans?
Never stays up past like 10 or 11.
What are our plans for tomorrow? Do we have plans for tomorrow?
I work for a couple hours, and then we're just going to spend the day
chilling
and being with each other and doing stuff together.
Like we normally do anyways.
Well, no. Normally we'll both go and do our own thing, but tomorrow we're actually going to do stuff together, which probably means she's going to be watching a lot of TV.
I'm good with that.
Because we have a bunch of shows to watch together.
We can work on our puzzle, our fishy puzzle.
Yeah, we can do our puzzle.
I've got a deck of cards. We can play cards. We can do checkers.
This puzzle.
There's lots of stuff we can do together.
This little fishy. I want this as a pet too.
Yeah, he has to work. What time do you work tomorrow?
I work 8 to 10, but we don't open until 9, so I'm only going to be working for an hour that we're open. Cool. But they asked me if I wanted it off, but I was like, no, I'll work the extra 2 hours. That's like an easy $20. Why not do it?
Fishy puzzle tomorrow.
I mean, I'm going to spend my first hour setting up the line and getting everything ready, and the last hour will be probably the same thing because they won't put me on a register for an hour.
Sounds good. And I don't go to work till 7. How was church online? To be honest with you, I didn't
watch it.
I watched like a tiny bit of it. I just wasn't interested. It didn't hold my attention. I'm so ADD sometimes that I get distracted, and there was things I'd rather do than watch that.
Not to say anything bad about our pastor, but when it's like actual church, I think it's this way. When it's actual church, he's up and he's moving and stuff, so he's more enthusiastic, more like, he's more loud and everything. And when we watched, he was just
standing in one place.
He was sitting and just like, it was sort of monotone to me. Yeah,
no, it was. It was.
So to me, it wasn't like watching our pastor. It was like watching somebody else. And I love our pastor. I mean, this is the first church I've ever went to where I actually enjoyed and wanted to become a member and can practically mostly stay like actually awake.
And it's raining here too, by the way.
It is. It's been raining since about 9 o'clock this morning, and it hasn't stopped.
And flooding our yard. That's the bad part.
But some dude was telling me at work today that it's supposed to be like hot or like warm by Thursday.
Crazy weather. It's like it can't make up its mind back and forth.
And then this weekend we're going to my hometown to spend time with my mom, sister, her boyfriend / fiance, and her 2 kids for a Christmas.
Yep. We exchange gifts there too. So that'll be our kind of late Christmas.
Yeah. We always do a late Christmas because all of us, or all of them, well, me too technically, work on Christmas or around Christmas, and then like we don't really ever have the money at the end of the year, so we wait like the beginning of the year and do it. Because like one of the things I love about not necessarily my job at my bank, well, my job too, because we get paid on Thursdays. Our week is from Wednesday to Thursday. So now, because of my bank, I get paid Wednesday, and I've never been paid on a Wednesday before. It's actually good, or feels nice to have like a check in the middle of the week instead of having to wait until the end of the week. Because then by a Friday, dude, I can have all my bills paid and everything and just relax. I'm talking way too much.
No, you're fine. My husband's hometown.
It's in Iowa. It's Maquoketa.
Maquoketa, Iowa. Mine is Buffalo, New York. Far, far away. Over the meadow and through the wood.
It will be nice eating.
Oh, hey,
well,
Stacy.
It'll be nice or it won't be nice depending on my family. Because like I said last night, I think, I don't know who's on here. We don't really get along. Maybe it's because I've been such a douche for most of my life and I've always asked them for stuff and everything. And always try manipulating them. Well, I mean, come on, my dad's son, right? But that's a conversation for another day. That could take up a full hour right there. Talking about my dad. Anyway, back on subject. It should be good.
No, we won't stay overnight. What?
What?
We've never stayed overnight there.
Okay, so we won't.
You just said, yes, we will,
No,
yes, we will. And Leah wouldn't want us to anyway.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, lie. I could see you in there, in the monitor.
Where?
Right there, in the monitor.
We are not staying the night.
Stop. Connecticut. Oh, okay. Okay. Your home
I've
state.
never been to Penn or Connecticut.
Been to Penn.
I'd love to go anywhere out of the Quad City area, like Illinois, Iowa. I did go to Nashville, Tennessee when I was little, but, you know, that was way too early for me to remember.
How far is Maquoketa? About 40, what, 50 minutes? No, it's more than, I think it's more than 40 minutes. More like 45
Oh, 45, 50.
Yeah. It's a drive, which he doesn't make. I drive. Oh, that's another one of his goals. He hopes to get his license, what, in May, you said?
I told her I was going to get my license by May, but let's just be real, I probably ain't ever going to do it.
I wouldn't say ain't ever. You might. See how you feel when you feel better.
Okay, honestly, would you want somebody who dissociates
behind
at
a
the very
wheel?
first sign of anxiety to be driving near you?
Good point. Maybe not a good idea.
I mean, we better have some pretty darn good insurance.
Well, the only thing my kids were saying, because I'm the older one, I'm 52 years old and he's 35. They said, well, you know, he's going to have to be able to drive you. What if, you know, you need to go to the hospital as you get older? He's going to need to take you there or go to the nursing home to see you or whatever. So he needs to get a license. So I agree with that part.
Well, when you get old, I'll get my license. You ain't old yet.
Whatever.
Listen, okay, 50 is the new 20, all right? We all know that.
Okay.
Have you ever heard sayings like that and wonder, well, if 50 is the new 20, then what is 20? Is it the new 50?
No, it doesn't go that way.
How do you know it doesn't go that way?
Because they're trying to say that 20 or 50 means that you feel like you're 20 years old again.
Okay, then what would 20 be then?
20 would have to be something even younger.
How much younger can you get than 20?
I don't know. Well, if 20 is the new 50, that's 30 years more. So 20 minus, you can't do that.
No, you can't, smart one. Yeah.
I see your point. It's at the top of that little bald head of yours. What is 60s? 30s, I guess.
They're the new 25s.
80s. 50s. If you subtract 30, it's always going to be 30
Don't
less.
try to do math, honey.
Hey, I can subtract that much.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, Edie.
Okay, Edie.
Exactly.
You won that one. I guess I have
Make
to
her
ride
take
the ambulance.
She's
I
got
don't
state
like
insurance.
ambulances.
She don't pay for it.
I don't like ambulances.
And you get all those nice, hot, young doctors and ambulance guys. I never get any girls.
I suppose I wouldn't care if I was in that kind of state. I just want to get to where I was going and get there quick. You're in your 30s, okay.
So am I.
And he's in his 30s too.
So
and I remember my 30s.
So we must be like infants then, or beyond infants.
Probably.
That would explain something.
Yeah, it would. Definitely would. So I want to tell you guys something. So this morning, first of all, don't ever, ladies, if you wear makeup, do not ever, ever go to sleep with eyeshadow on, especially like creamy eyeshadow.
Definitely, Stacy.
Huh? What'd you say? Oh, try to make the most of the age you are.
So definitely, Stacy. See, unlike your yapper, I pay attention to the people.
I was too. All right. So I woke up this morning, had left my cream eyeshadow on that I wore in last night's live. Ended up feeling like I was getting pink eye. And my eye was burning really bad and it hurt to open it, but then it hurt to close it. So, and I was keeping it open. Well, I went in the bathroom. I took some baby shampoo, rinsed out my eye with it. So that's the first thing you do if you ever get like pink eye type symptoms. The next thing you do, this stuff right here, it's called Simulsan. Whoops. Simulsan Irritated Eye Relief. They also have it for red eye or pink eye too. And it says multi-symptom redness, watery discharge, burning, grittiness, dryness, and stinging. It has in it, if I can find it, belladonna, euphrasia, heparsulfuris, and alkaloids calculated as hyoscyamine. I can't read it. Anyway, it is excellent for if you have pink eye and grittiness in your eyes. Another thing you can use, oh, that's good, Ada. Another thing you can use is boric acid rinse. And people are like, oh my God, why would you put something in your eye that you use for roaches? Well, yes, it is the same stuff. You dilute it, but you don't realize it. But all your eye drops, like your Visine and all that stuff, most of them are boric acid based. Read the ingredients. You just have to make sure you put very little boric acid in it, but it will cure your pink eye. Why are you moving your mouth? Are you imitating me? Am I throwing my voice and you're my mannequin? My little, not man, is it a mannequin? What do you call them things? Marionettes? Puppets. Are you my puppet, honey? Hmm? What are you doing?
My nose itches, dude.
Oh. So I just wanted to tell you about that for your eyes. I don't have any boric acid, or if I do, I have no idea where it went. I used to have a big bottle of it, and I was miserable this morning because it hurts so bad. But that stuff worked.
Oh, man, dude. Ugh.
Are you a celebrity? Who? Who, Gunther? Is who a celebrity, and why'd you ask that?
See, I'm weird. I will not let anything that has acid in its name near my body.
I'm trying to figure out what Gunther means. Am I a celebrity, or are we a celebrity? Where did that come from? Who said we were a celebrity? That's the only thing I don't like about Facebook. It takes forever to see people's comments. And I'm an impatient person. Patience is not a virtue I possess in large amount. That is for darn sure. And these comments don't like to scroll automatically. So you have to keep clicking on the arrow to see what people said.
He's snoring.
Teddy is. Cat's snoring. I'm the only person that ever said that? Said what? What did I miss? I'm totally missing something here. I'm hearing ding, ding, ding. Why am I hearing dings? That's just weird. Just say yes, you are a celebrity. Yes, we are celebrities. Matthew and Dee Dee. Live on Facebook Live. We are celebrities. Sure.
Yay.
You're funny, Ada. I'm still trying to figure out what Edie means. I'm the only person that ever said that. Said what? Said what? 7 people. Feel free to ask us questions, talk to us, whatever. My husband said he's going to probably not be on here very long anyway.
No, I'm probably going to hit it at 60.
At what?
60.
60? What's 60?
Minutes, Gucci.
Oh, up there, yeah.
Goofy.
60 minutes. Don't hit me.
It might knock some sense into you, honey. We should try it.
No, we shouldn't. Stupid questions and stupid answers. Oh, I'm the only person that knows what boric acid is. Oh, that's because I'm on the internet and I check stuff out, like natural treatments and things, because I don't like medication. So I'm always looking for like the most natural thing I can find. Holistic healing. And I used to work for New Ways in Melaleuca, and that's all holistic stuff. Well, more New Ways was than Melaleuca. But that's when I started learning about tea tree oil, and then Cell Tech I learned about super blue-green algae. Except the thought of eating algae didn't appeal to me, but I used it anyway, and it was good. Made me have a lot of energy. It was very, very good stuff. Another thing I might get into more this year, because in January, we were told on Facebook that the 12 Tribes guy that was investigating the 12 Tribes cult was going to do a podcast, and I'm going to be listening to that and see where I can help out for exposing that cult too. How long have you been doing YouTube? I don't know. How long? Just since you've known me?
Yeah, I don't YouTube.
I've been doing it since either 2008, 2009. After I got abused by the narcissistic mentor, pastor's daughter, that's when I started doing YouTube. It was when I made my first I made a chat room, and then after that I started my YouTube. I just did one video talking about what narcissism was, narcissistic personality, and a bunch of people wrote me and said, oh my gosh, this information is so good. It's like you've been in my house, the last 10 years or whatever. Keep on making videos. So I'm like, well, I don't know what I'll make them on. And I just started doing some research and learning about different personality disorders and found a fascination in it. And at the time, I had also started going back to college. So I knew psychology information, had those notes I could go on. And so, yeah, that's how I started. That's when I started, I should say. So it's been a while. It's whatever. 2009 to 2018, 9 years. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, my husband's more the math person, but yes, 9 years. That is what I would say. I was on AOL too before all of this stuff, before there even was a YouTube. I found out that YouTube, I think, just started up in like 2004 or 2006. It hasn't been around all that long. Some people feel like it's been here forever, but it really hasn't. Oh boy, that's a long story. What do you want to know? Ask me questions. I can answer anything you want me to answer. It's literally a very long story. I can tell you like the basis of how we met and things like that, but I need some specific questions of what you want to know. And you can leave if you're tired and want to lay down, because this is going to take a while, I'm sure. And I'm going to just keep talking.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my ice cream.
All right. You going to make me some?
No.
You're mean. All
Yes.
right. That's fine. Whatever. I made you some yesterday and myself some.
That's good. There isn't enough for both of us.
All right. Go enjoy your ice cream.
I shall.
Mr. Man is saying goodbye for now. He's going to have some ice cream and probably lay down or watch shows or whatever.
And I'm gonna go watch some more Storage Wars.
Storage Wars. That's what he's doing. He's watching Storage Wars. Okay, pastor's daughter. I'm going to call her Becky, just simply because I don't want to use her real name. I had just gotten out of a relationship with a lady that had borderline personality disorder. She was diagnosed borderline personality disorder, so it's not something I just diagnosed her with or made up. She literally was diagnosed as having that and definitely fit the criteria. And in the end, she ended up turning on me, and her husband did too, and we split up our friendship. And I was devastated, because if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody that is totally devoted to you, or seems to be, and they hang on every word you say and you're their everything, kind of goes to your head a little bit. And it did go to my head a lot. And so when the friendship broke up, it was devastating. It hurt me. I was depressed. And I just wanted to pretty much die. It was awful, because borderlines are like larger than life. When you're in a relationship with somebody that has that disorder, there's never a dull moment. Life is always exciting. There's always drama going on. There's always crises to avert and avail through. And, you know, it's always excitement. And when that excitement goes away, you're like, well, now what? What do I do now? There's nothing to be upset over. There's nothing to try to figure out. There's no betrayal going on that I need to, you know, investigate. It's just all like smooth sailing, and you don't know how to do smooth, because you've just gone through lots of rocky excitement. So you're looking for more excitement in your life at that point. Well, along comes Becky. And Becky pretty much had talked to one of my friends and said, tell Laura that I want to help her heal from this other relationship. And we'll call her Ruth, the ex-friend, the borderline. And I was like, what? Becky's telling you that she wants to help me heal from the relationship? But we don't even like hardly talk. I mean, we hang out at night. We do impersonations. We goof around. We tell each other jokes like till 4 in the morning or whatever. But I've never seen her as like a mentor type person to me. She said, well, I'm just telling you what Becky said. You know, what? Oh, you got me some? Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what Becky said and just relaying the message, so you do with it what you want. Well, I went to Becky and I said, our friend, I won't name her, but our friend said that you wanted to be like my mentor and kind of help me through this sadness, this depression that I'm going through over Ruth. And she said, she told you that? And I said, yeah. She goes, well, yeah, that's true. Because I've always been the one there for you, Laura. I've always been kind of like the mother in our group. And, you know, when that happened to you, I knew you were upset and I want to help you heal, yada, yada. I was like, oh, well, I'll think about it. But I really don't trust anybody right now. I'm eating ice cream, by the way. Happy New Year to me. I was like, I'll think about it, but I'm not sure I can trust anybody. How do I know you're not going to hurt me like Ruth did? And she said, well, I'm not, Laura. I can't believe the things she did to you. And we had talked like a little bit about it a couple times, and she promised me she would never devastate me like Ruth did. She could never even fathom hurting somebody that way. I trusted her. And we grew to kind of have a sort of relationship, friendship, you know. Nothing weird, just friendship. Yeah, it is true, Ada. So time went on, and we met another lady. We will call her Kathy. I'm going to try to remember all these names because they're pseudo names. And Kathy and I and Becky decided to meet at a cabin and hang out and kind of do some ministry stuff together, pray together, sing, whatever came up, you know, and just kind of spend time in the Bible and doing stuff like that. Well, Kathy came. First of all, Kathy visited me before this, and she had problems, we'll just say, really demonic problems. And I'm a deliverance minister, so I prayed over her and tried to help her get free, but she had deeper problems than what I knew how to handle. So I didn't really help her fully. I did what I could. There's only so much you can do. Sometimes people need other kinds of help than just spiritual. So she went home, and then, yeah, so flash forward, we're going to go to this cabin, and Becky and I hung out at the cabin before Kathy even got there, and Kathy finally arrives at the cabin, and she's acting strange again like she did like at my house, and Becky's like, what do? I've never seen anybody act like this. I mean, I said, look, you're a pastor's daughter. I would think you know how to handle this kind of thing. And she's like, no, not like this. I've never seen anything like this. You got to do something to help me, Laura. I don't know what to do. And I said, well, let's just pray for her and, you know, see what happens. So she pretty much prayed for her and didn't really include me in the, you know, prayer process. So I just walked away and kind of started dancing, because I'm a flag worship type person. Like, I started the banner and flag ministry in one of the churches that I used to go to. So I grabbed my flags and just started dancing around and just praising God and asking him to touch this lady and whatever, because I didn't know what else to do. She wasn't asking me to pray with her. So finally it all ended, and whatever happened. I don't know. Then later on, Becky came to me and to Kathy, and she kind of knelt down with us, and she's like, we're going to do something called the alabaster box, and I'm going to walk over to you, and you're going to be thinking about what you would put in the, or what you would break over Jesus's feet or his head or whatever happened in the alabaster box story. I can't remember. You're going to lay it at his feet and break it over his head, the perfumed oil, and you decide what is your oil that you want to break over Jesus's feet or his head or whatever. So she gets to Kathy, and she's having issues with somebody in her family, and she's pouring her heart out to Becky, and this is what happened to me, blah, blah, blah. She comes over to me, and I had already prayed for the morning. I was good, as some of my friends have said. I'm Gucci. I was good, and I was all set. So she came over to me, and she's like, so what would you sacrifice for our Lord? And I looked at her, and I said, I got nothing. I prayed this morning. Him and I, we are good. She's like, yes, but what would you sacrifice for him? What would you give to Jesus? And I'm like I said, I'm good. I've prayed. I'm cool with them. We're on good terms, you know, whatever. And she said, okay, then go to bed. Go to your room. I'm like, what? Go to your room. This isn't for you. And I was just like shocked. Now, I'm a grown adult at this point. Well, at least as grown as I could possibly be, I guess. I was in my 30s. And this other woman that's 4 years younger than me is telling me to go to my room. Now, most people would snap and probably smack her in the face or punch her out or just leave there. I didn't have a car. She had brought me there in her Jeep. So I had no way out. I was pretty much trapped in this cabin with some rather disturbing individuals. So I went to my room. I went to the cabin room, and I was laying on the bed going, dear God, what did I get myself into? Now, this is a lady I met online, by the way. Keep that in mind in case anybody invites you to their house when you meet them online. You don't know who you're dealing with. So I'm laying on the bed thinking, what on earth? I fell asleep. Next morning comes. Everything seems totally normal. We went on a canoe trip. And Kathy sat up on the one end of the canoe, and Becky sat at the other end of the canoe. And she said, whatever you do, don't tip this canoe over. And I'm like, why? I mean, it's just water. You're not going to drown. You have a life jacket on. She's like, no, you don't understand. The last time I took a canoe trip, with anybody. They tipped the canoe over, and I was all wet, and I don't like it. And she's just going on and on about don't tip the canoe. So I'm like, okay, you know, chill out. We won't tip it. We'll be careful. So she and Kathy steered the canoe, and I sat on the middle, on the floor in the middle. What we had going on here, and you have to understand how narcissists work. In Becky's head, she had created this pseudo family. Like, she was the mother, Kathy was the father, and I was the little girl, or the little child. I would say little girl. So here I am sitting in the canoe, blah, blah, blah. And it tipped twice. So the first time it tips, no problem. We just all, you know, got wet, and yeah, she's mad and whatever. She gets back in the canoe. We keep paddling. We finally come to a place where we're almost done with our canoe ride, and we hit a rock, and the whole thing, bam, topples over. I am cut up. My knees are all bleeding from the stones because they're sharp stones. The canoe falls on top of me. I'm trying to claw my way because I can't breathe under the canoe, under the water, trying to get out from under the canoe. And I grab up on the top of the canoe, and I finally managed to tip it over or something. I don't know. And I got back up to, I think I walked up to shore or something so we could get back in the canoe and finish, because you got to get to the end of the ride to pay them and stuff like that. And she's yelling at me. I'm like, I'm bleeding. She's like, get the lunch, forget about your legs. Oh my God, Laura, get the lunch. Don't let the lunch get wet. I'm sitting there thinking, am I seriously hearing this right now? My legs are gushing blood. She can plainly see this. And she's yelling at me to grab the lunch bag. That's how narcissists are. No empathy whatsoever. So I grab the lunch. I don't remember if it got wet or not. Probably not. It was like a super insulated bag. And I put it into the canoe, and I hop back into the canoe, and we start paddling. And I remember at one point, after she's like all mad at me and probably snapping at me or giving me the silent treatment, I can't remember. I look over on a stone over on the side in this watery area, and Kathy says, oh my God. I'm like, what? She goes, look over on that stone. And I'm looking. I'm like, it's a pretty stone. She's like, no, did you see what's on it? And I'm like, no, I didn't see what was on it. There was a snake on the stone, and it was like not far from us. And it was probably a poisonous snake, because it was like, I think it was the river. I'm not sure. But it was in Missouri. I think that's where we were. Yeah, I think it was in Missouri. And she's like, you better get your hand out of the water, Becky. So she pulls her hand up out of the water, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, wouldn't that serve her right if this snake came over and bit her one for what she's doing to me, mistreating me. When you're with a narcissist, you can't help it. You just start thinking thoughts that you normally would not think for most people. You get very angry and very hurt at what they put you through, and then you start finding yourself wishing harm on them, and then you don't like yourself after a while, which is why I always tell people, don't stay with a narcissist, because it'll turn you ugly. It will turn you very ugly, like you don't want to be turned. So, yeah. Anyway, that was one of the situations. There were many, many other situations, which actually I have videos on. I'll make sure they're uploaded so you can watch them, and I will send you links to them if you give me your email address. I will send you the links to the other ones, because it's too lengthy to go into all of it. But that's just a couple of the things that happened when I was with little Miss Becky. And that is what started the whole YouTube channel, because by the time she got done with me at her trailer, I was devastated. I didn't know what my favorite color was. I didn't barely remember my name when she was through with me. And I had to get a lot of help for that. So, I started doing some research into like divas and control freaks and stuff like that, and found Sam Vaknin's site on narcissistic personality, narcissism revisited, and I poured over those pages day after day after day, hundreds of pages of his book, and I learned all about narcissism. And honestly, that's who I give credit to for teaching me about the personality disorder, because I didn't know a darn thing about it. All I knew was I didn't know who I was. I didn't have an identity by the time I came out of that relationship, and I needed help to find out who I was again. So that's where Sam Beckman's information came in. I would still love to do a collab with Sam, but yeah, he doesn't want to with me. Anyway, that's all I can tell for now. But you kind of get the gist of some of the things that I went through. And like I said, I will definitely give you the rest of the information via my videos, which are already on there. Go ahead, Edie. What is your serious question, dear? I'm waiting for your question to pop up. You must still be typing. It hasn't shown up yet. There we go. Oh, hi, Deborah. Edie was just about to ask me a serious question. Facebook is so slow. Oh, wow. Really? You have a friend who believes everything in life is okay. What you mean by that, for example, gangbangers are just misled in childhood? Well, some people don't have a moral compass. So, to them, anything would be okay. They have nothing to compare the bad stuff with, you know? They can't see, no, this is bad and this is good. Because they don't know right from wrong. They don't know the difference. And you can't blame everything on somebody's childhood, but a lot of people were misled in childhood. A lot of people were abused in childhood. But that doesn't justify bad behavior in adulthood. You still have to make choices. That sounds like a gang mentality for sure. She knows people who have killed others, but it's how you survive. Yeah, well, I understand that because I've worked with teens like that who feel that way. That's all they know. Their families are gang based, and it's survival of the fittest, literally. A lot of people have that mentality. Doesn't make it right, but I guess if that's all you know from the time you're a little kid, then that's all you know. And there's no convincing them otherwise. Unfortunately, you just pray for them and speak your truth to them, but they're going to believe what they were taught to believe. It's pretty ingrained in most people that feel that way. Sadly, it's true. It's kind of like that whole thing with NK and the Chris Watts situation. Maybe her whole family or people she hung out with were involved in the icky stuff she was involved with. And you couldn't tell her, hey, that's just like really perverse and evil. She would just, oh, it's just fun, You got to get your jolly somehow. This is just what I'm into. People make light of sin all the time. Right, no, exactly. It's not okay. They're killers. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm saying in their mind they think it's okay because that's all they've known. It's never okay to be like that, obviously. But as far as trying to convince them of that when that's all they know and that's how they're raised, have fun with that, because blood is thicker than water. That's another gang expression. And they're going to go with their gang group, which is oftentimes a family. Even if it's not their family that's involved in it, they may be part of a group of people who say, oh, well, we're your family now. You don't need your biological family because they don't get us, you know. They're just mamby-pamby wimps. They're afraid to fight. You know, people that have that fighting mentality, that's how they feel. But no, it's not okay. I'm not ever saying killing is okay. Obviously not. But it's just all that they've known. There's not much you can do. I mean, if you know about it and you're safe to do so, report it. If you know people that they're going around harming, you know. But you're not going to convince them to see it your way, is what I'm saying. Why do I think it happened to me? So that I could be here doing what I'm doing now. So that I would go to college. So that I would understand other people going through it. I don't blame you, Edie. I would not want to be connected to that kind of thing. That puts you in harm's way. Because if they have that mentality that killing is fine and you just got to survive, what happens when she thinks you've done something or said something against her? You know? Then you could be the next victim. It's kind of like my mom used to say, if they'll talk against other people to you, they'll talk against you to others. Kind of the same thing. Okay. Well, what did she say, Edie? I'm reading what you said. You said to her, if they shot your son, would that be okay? What was her response? By the way, I'll close this down at about 7:30. It's 7:22 now. What was the response of that person? You're probably still typing it. There you go. Oh, she's just a work friend. Okay. Still, even if she's a work friend, you got to be careful who you associate with. How will you end that friendship if you have to work with her? Just stop talking to her, give her the silent treatment? Or, I mean, that could get kind of complicated in a work situation, I would think. Like me, the staff and I all work pretty closely together, so I can't imagine having any major issue with any one of them because we're like up close and personal all day long. That would be really uncomfortable. About her son? Yeah, what did she say about her son? That's what I was asking you. What did she say about her son when you said, would it be okay if they shot your son? Yeah, well, I believe God turns around for good what the devil means for harm, anyways. So, yeah, definitely. And I've actually talked to Becky not all that long ago. It was a few years ago, a couple years ago. And she pretty much put most of the blame on her husband, but at the time, her ex-husband now. But she did take some of the blame and said that because she was under pressure from him, she felt like she had to treat me the way she did. So yeah, it was a joint responsibility, I guess. Most of it was because she just didn't understand my personality and it didn't mesh with hers. We did not click at all. But she definitely showed some very narcissistic characteristics during that whole thing. Sure. No doubt about that one. I'm going to position my pillow up here so I can move this computer because I'm getting kind of cold on the floor. My feet are freezing. Ugh, there we go. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to go through it again, but I'm glad that I went through it on one hand because I can help other people. And I understand now that narcissism is a real thing and that people really can be tactless and mean like that. That it's legit. It's not something that people are exaggerating or making up or, you know, just trying to get attention with. It's something that's very real and very painful to those that go through it. Let me see what she said here. She didn't answer the question about her son. Oh, gotcha, Edie. No, I think that's a good idea. That's setting a boundary. You don't have to be friends with everybody you work with. You don't have to have any relationship with anybody you don't want to have a relationship with. And if it's toxic, then all the better to just move on, you know. I think you're doing the right thing, personally. She doesn't sound like a very healthy individual to be close with. And it doesn't sound like she's likely to change her way or even hear your side of things. I don't think. So we got like 4 or 5 minutes left, y'all. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. I could probably sing a song if I knew the words. Let's see if I can get the words. I'll sing this typical New Year's song for you, even though I just ate ice cream, which is the absolute worst time to try to sing anything, obviously. It's a Scottish song. I didn't even know that. Interesting. Excuse me. My computer's very, very slow today. Sorry. I probably need an upgrade, actually. All right, let's see. So, Auld Lang Syne was a song which I guess the guy named Robert Burns in the 1780s really liked a lot. I don't know who actually sung it or who created it, but it was a poem originally. And Mr. Burns sent it to the Scots Musical Museum, and they translated it as For Old Times' Sake. And it's about holding on to the old friendships and looking back over the past years. And I don't know. And some friendships aren't, you know, worth holding on to. Some friendships are better off dissolved because they're not true friendships. What's this say? Oh, yeah, it will, Stacy. I hear you there. So I'll sing this song for you guys. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my Joe, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll talk, take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. And surely you'll be your pinstop, and surely I'll be mine, and we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. And I can't read the rest of this because it's in some other language. All of these are in some other language. This is kind of nice, though. Here's another chorus for it. And there's a hand, my trusty friend, and give us a hand of yours, and we'll take a deep draught of goodwill for long, long ago. Kind of a cool song. Nice remembrances of our old friends, real friends that deserve to be remembered. Thank you, Edie. You too. Have a wonderful new year. For real. All right, everybody. It has been an awesome time with you, my husband, and all of this. It's been awesome. I'm going to get off of here now, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Something. I never know what I'm going to do till I do it. I'm kind of a impulsive individual. I just do what I do. I'm a mood-based person, unless I have to be somewhere like work or cleaning the house or whatever. Somebody's blowing off fireworks around here now, too. But I hope you all have a blessed and happy new year. Again, my email address, I will post it right now so you can see it. DelusionDispeller@gmail.com. Remember, I have e-books. I have an e-course. And I have lots of ways to get a hold of me if you need to, if you want to. I'm around. And I probably won't be back on YouTube Live for quite some time because I'm banned for 90 days, which should be at about 60 now, I think, instead of 90. So we'll see how that all goes. Hi, Robbie. I'm just signing off, Robbie. You're a little bit late. Was there anything in particular you wanted to talk about? I'll stay a few more minutes. I just ran out of stuff to say, basically, and everybody else kind of ran out of stuff to say to me or ask me. So, what are you doing tonight, Robbie, for the holiday, for New Year? New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day tomorrow. What are your plans? Feel free to chat. Aw, thanks, Edie. Me too. Here's to a better new year than last year. It wasn't my favorite year. It wasn't a bad year, but it wasn't anything positive and excitement. Oh, you're on a break at work. Okay, cool. Where do you work, Robbie? What kind of work do you do? I'm on a long break from work until the 7th. Schools are out for a while. And then the neat thing is every month after that, till we're done with work, there's days off on each month. So I like that. I like having a little break in between. It's kind of nice. So what are your plans for the evening, Robbie? I'm clearing out my phone, all the old messages. Clear out the old, bring in the new, right? That's what we do. Oh, by the way, y'all, if you haven't seen it yet, Eli Stone is a really good show. It's a series on Hulu. Very enjoyable show. Funny as heck. Oh, you're a city bus driver in Denver. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So this news story that recently happened, 2 of them, hit up close and personal probably for you. I mean, like close to home, so to speak. Ah, yes. Relax, relax. Watch the ball drop. Usher in the new year, 2019. Then you have to learn how to write it on every paper and every bill and everything that you pay, every check, whatever, and you keep writing 2018 and have to get your brain switched over to 2019, right? I have to anyway. I know that happens to me all the time. So that'll be fun, trying to reprogram my head for the new year. But I can do it. I'm good for that. I can do that. Anyway. Well, anything else you want to talk about or have any questions for me? Anything you wanted to know, or just hanging out, see what's going on, seeing what's good? If not, then I will dismiss myself, so to speak, and close down and go see what's going on the tube, the YouTube, maybe the TV tube too. I don't know. I might play some Sims tonight, or maybe Sonic. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. All kinds of games we have. I like match 4 games too, or match 3, I mean. So I might do that too. All right. Well, nobody's really talking, so I guess I will skedaddle. Thanks everybody for being here tonight, and have a happy, peaceful, safe, and wonderful, God-blessed new year. Bye for now. Till the next live. See ya.